Hello, I'm Aditya from LearnPlex Education, and today we're going to be going over the May 2019 SAT test. This is section 3, Math section without calculator. This section has 20 questions and is supposed to be finished in 25 minutes. I'm going to be going over the solutions and explaining each answer. So let's start with number 1. In the equation above, a is constant. For which of the following values of a will the equation have no solution? So if you want the equation to have no solution, you have to make sure that the left-hand side never equals the right-hand side. And so how do we test that? We can just, all of these numbers are values you're supposed to plug into a. So we're just going to try them one by one. Let's start with 10. Let's start with option D, 10. So you'll get 10x equals 5. Now, this equation actually works as long as x equals 1/2, because 10 times 1/2 equals 5. So there is a possible solution to this, which means this answer is wrong. Now, if we were to try option C, so a equals 5, we have 5x equals 5, and that leaves us with x equals 1, right? This equation will work when x equals 1 because 5 times 1 equals 5. So this is wrong. And if we try a equals 1, we get x equals 5, which is already a solution that we know works for the equation. So this is wrong. And so this leaves us with option a equals 0. We can say that we got our answer by process of elimination, but we can also prove this answer. So if a equals 0, that means 0x equals 5, which is the same as saying 0 equals 5. And 0 never equals 5, right? It doesn't really matter what you plug into x. It doesn't matter if you plug in 1, it doesn't matter if you plug in 10, it doesn't matter if you plug in 5. You're always going to get 0 on one side and 5 on the other side. That's why this answer is correct. Number 2, if 3 times 3x plus 5 equals 2x minus 8, what is the value of x? So this is just one equation, one variable question, so we're going to try to isolate x and then solve from there. So first we're going to want to use the distributive property here. Distribute the 3 to both 3x and 5, so we get 9x, because that's 3 times 3x, plus 3 times 5, which is 15, and that equals 2x minus 8. So now we want to move all the x terms to one side, so we're going to subtract 2x from both sides to get rid of it here. 7x plus 15 equals negative 8. And now we're going to get all the constants on the other side. So to do that, we're going to subtract 15 from both sides. So this term will go away and it'll end up here. We'll get 7x equals negative 8 minus 15, which equals negative 23. And if 7x equals negative 23, then you simply divide both sides by 7 and get x equals negative 23 divided by 7. And so your answer would be A. Number 3, for the linear function h, the table above shows several values of x and their corresponding values of h of x. Which of the following defines h? So we can see here through the graph that we have some values of x and some values of h of x. I'm going to say that x is your input and h of x is your output. So each time, notice here how these are all in increments of 2, right? Because 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6, and 6 plus 2 is 8. And they increase by 2 each time. And each time the x value increases by 2, your h of x value increases by 6. 1 plus 6 is 7, 7 plus 6 is 13, and 13 plus 6 is 19. And you should know that the slope of a linear line is your delta y, is your change in y, divided by delta x, which is your change in x. And so every time y changes, h of x is essentially your y because it's your output. Every time your h of x changes by 6. So you do 6 here, and every time h of x changes by 6, your just x changes by 2. So your slope equals 6 divided by 2, which equals 3. And you know that you have your y equals mx plus b form, and that m is your slope, And you should know that 3 is m here. So we know that this is a linear equation because the slope is constant the whole way throughout, and that the m is 3. So the only option that works is actually B. Okay, number 4. Terrence's car contains 8 gallons of fuel. He plans to drive the car m miles using the fuel currently in the car. If the car can drive 20 miles per gallon of fuel, which inequality gives the possible values of m? So we know that we're looking for a value that's in like a number of miles. The unit is miles. So, and we're given 2 units. We have a unit that represents a number of gallons and the number of miles per gallon. I'm going to circle it here. The number of gallons and the number of miles per gallon. So the way we get miles when we have gallons and miles per gallon is by doing this. We're going to multiply gallons by miles per gallon, which is essentially saying miles divided by gallon. And now we have like terms here that we can cancel out. So essentially what we're doing is we're multiplying the numeric value of gallons with gallons at the end, and then the numeric value 20 here with miles per gallon at the end. So it's essentially saying 8 gallons times 20 miles per gallon. And you will actually cancel out the units here. So like this. And then you have 8 times 20, which is obviously 160 miles. And notice how if it has 8 gallons of fuel, the car can drive 20 miles per gallon of fuel, that means it can't go over 160 miles. That means m has to be less than or equal to 8 times 20.